All right, some breaking 49ers news to get to on this Sunday, March 9th, right before NFL free agency, as this is the eve of NFL free agency as it gets underway on Monday. The 49ers are set to release defensive tackle Maliek Collins. This is a big move that's going to open up a lot of cap space for San Francisco to utilize potentially in NFL free agency. And how about this? We talked about this possibility the other night, and we've been talking about this for a little while, about the possibility of Joey Bosa teaming up with his brother Nick Bosa along this Niners defensive line. According to Tim Kawakami, San Francisco having productive conversations with Joey, and it looks as though the Niners could be closing in on a deal to team the Bosa brothers up in NFL free agency. Before we talk about all of this and the implications behind it, be sure to smash that subscribe button right here on the Niners Report. I hit you with videos and oftentimes multiple shows every single day. And for free agency, I will be live every single day this week. Don't miss our coverage. It's going to be elite. If you want to stay in the know and you want Niners content every single day year-round that's insightful, informative, entertaining, thought-provoking, where you can be a part of the movement and you can have a voice, hit that sub button right now, lock us in, and join the nearly 160,000 people worldwide who are subbed to this channel. So let's start off with this roster move with Malik Collins. It's not going to be official until the start of the new league year, potentially, but Monday is basically the start of NFL free agency. That's the tampering period where teams can contact external free agents for the first time of this new league year. And so the official start of the new league year will be on Wednesday, but this tampering period, it's the start of free agency. And so the Niners are set to release defensive tackle Maliek Collins. There's some reports out there that the Niners are going to try to trade him if a team now knows that Collins is going to be released. That means that the Niners most likely not going to get any value back for the player. So Maliek Collins going to be let go. Very sure about that. And so this is a move that's going to save San Francisco about $10 million in cap space. And going into the offseason, I had said time and time again, we've been talking about this on the show over the last several weeks and, of course, the last few days as the Niners go into this free agency period looking to rebuild their team, get this team back on track after a 6-11 year, that San Francisco needs to rebuild the trenches and remake the offensive line and the defensive line. This is how games are won in the National Football League if you're able to find your quarterback. And the Niners believe they have found their quarterback in Brock Purdy. If you can control the offensive line and the defensive line, and you can run block and find success on the ground, and you can pass protect and have success through the air, and if you can get pressure with 4, with your defensive line, drop back 7 in coverage, that is the formula to win championships and win at a high level in the National Football League. Look at what the Philadelphia Eagles did, pulling off the impossible, what nobody thought they could do, in throttling the Kansas City Chiefs. They did not blitz once. They had 25 pressures on Patrick Mahomes, and they sacked him 6 times. That is the formula to beat Mahomes and the other elite quarterbacks in this league. When quarterbacks have to face a defensive line that gets pressure with 4, they're under siege and under pressure all throughout the game, and teams can just drop back 7. That's how the Buccaneers beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl in 2020. That's how the Eagles beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl in the 2024 season. And I don't care who's back there, Tom Brady, Joe Montana. If you generate pressure on the quarterback with 4, oftentimes you're going to be able to be victorious. And so the 49ers are not good enough along the offensive line, left guard, center, right tackle, to compete for championships, in my opinion. And on the defensive line, they need to get better stopping the run, 29th last year, and they need to get better with putting together a more consistent pass rush. And so with the Niners releasing Maliek Collins, it's a way to clear up a lot of money to use it elsewhere to find better players potentially and players who are better scheme fits. And this move ended up working out pretty well for the Niners, right? They let go of Eric Armstead. He signed with the Jags, got a huge deal there. the Niners saved a lot of cap space in letting go of Armstead last season. And then they traded away a 7th-round pick for Malik Collins. They got cheaper there, and they ended up getting 5 sacks for a 7th-round pick from Collins. But he's 31 years old. He's a good pass-rushing defensive tackle. He's not a good run-stopping defensive tackle. Just not good enough with stopping the run with what the Niners want to do on the defensive side of the ball under Robert Saleh. And there's no way that the Niners made this move without consulting in Saleh. And Saleh is getting paid a lot of money to be the Niners defensive coordinator, and he's going to be able to remake this defense as he sees fit. And so I imagine he's totally fine with this move, San Francisco making it, going into free agency and in the draft. And I think the Niners, even if they go out and sign a better defensive tackle than Maliek Collins and Jonathan Allen, who was let go by the Commanders, he's pretty good against the run. He's good against the pass. Former first-round pick, 2-time Pro Bowler. They need to take advantage, in my opinion, of this very deep defensive line draft class at the end of April, especially at that defensive tackle spot. And I'm not knocking Collins by any means, but when you can save $10 million on the cap and upgrade at that position and get younger, it's a no-brainer. Collins has had a productive career, and he's been doing it for a long time. He's been very durable. He's never played less than 12 games in a season. His sacks by year, 5, 2.5, 3, 4, 0, 2.5, 3.5, 5, 5. So 10 sacks combined the last 2 years. He will have a market, but his overall PFF grade, 57.9. His pass rush grade, good at 70. That was 33rd among 219 defensive tackles. But his run defense grade was just 42.8. And the Niners got thrashed against the run with their defensive tackle play. And when you think about how this money could be used toward a player like Jonathan Allen and or a Joey Bosa, I think that's what the Niners' thinking is here. And speaking of Joey Bosa, Tim Kawakami reporting this on this Sunday morning. He said, meanwhile, I've heard Joey Bosa and the 49ers are having good conversations, and this feels like it's headed toward a deal. Nothing is done, but the Bosa brothers want to be together and probably will get there this year, which likely means this will be a moderate deal with incentives. The price tag that I have thrown out there that I am cool with, $10 million. 2-year deal. Maybe there's a option for that second year. So pretty much it's a 1-year deal, $10 million. If there are incentives in there to get it up to 15, I'm fine with that. For instance, Joey, if you get to 10 sacks, that's $5 more million on top of the $10 million that we'll give you. That's the way that I would structure this contract for Joey, to bring him into the Niners defensive end rotation, team him up with Nick Bosa. If you want to play with your brother, this is for Joey or Nick. Nick's already making $34 million per year. Joey's made a ton of bread. If you truly want to play together as brothers, there has to be a financial sacrifice. And that is the message that I am getting across if I'm at the negotiating table and I'm in the shoes of John Lynch, who seems to have a lot more power going into this offseason as compared to prior offseasons. And if Joey wants to go out in free agency and get $15 to $20 million from another team, have fun. You want to play with your brother? We'll give you 10. And if you get to 10 sacks, we'll give you automatic $5 more million. That's how I'm approaching it. And there's been all this talk about the Niners front office being more cutthroat in these negotiations after they've gotten pushed around by Ayuk and his reps, Debo and his reps, Nick Bosa and his reps are not going to let that happen with Brock Purdy. These are the types of difficult conversations and negotiations that have to take place. Because you can't give Joey Bosa at 29 a lot of money right off the rip with how little he's played in recent years and the injury concerns that are there for a guy who's 6'5", 250, 260, and has a lot of foot issues. That's a big concern for me. But if you give him $10 million and he gives you 10 sacks, I'll up that to $15 million easily, because that right there is worth it. And so Kawakami also said this, which I thought was interesting. I've discussed how Leonard Floyd can be released. Niners can save a lot of money post-June 1 designation. But Kawakami said this, my understanding is that the idea would be to bring Joey Bosa in as a rotation piece. Another reason why you don't give him more than $10 million. Keep Leonard Floyd, rotate Joey in and out. And then also, if everybody stays healthy, that allows the Niners to rest Nick some more in a top 3 defensive end depth chart. So if you're thinking about where the Niners could go here with their defensive line and remaking it, last year, not enough talent or depth on that line. So now, this offseason, you could potentially have Nick Bosa, Leonard Floyd, Joey Bosa. Maybe you draft a defensive end, defensive tackle. You also bring in Jonathan Allen. That is a better defensive line than what the Niners had in 2024. And maybe that's what their line of thinking is here. And that would make a lot of sense. So Malik Collins out, saves the Niners $10 million. And it looks as though we're working toward, and the Niners are working on bringing in Joey Bosa to sign him an NFL free agency once that gets underway on Monday. Again, if anything else breaks, I'll be on this microphone in front of the camera regardless of where I am. And then we'll be live tomorrow starting at 8 a.m. Pacific. So we'll see you then. This is the 49ers Report. I'm Chase Sr. Keep it locked here for the best Niners coverage right here on YouTube.